It's me! I'm back after a really long time of not going live. Oh my god, I forgot how nerve-wracking it is. It's been a long, long time since I've done tea time. I am only giving a few seconds for people to hop on because my 3-week-old is sleeping, so is my husband, and I am taking advantage to do this video as quickly and efficiently as possible. Hello! I was just saying how I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible because the baby's sleeping, husband's sleeping. Let's hope it stays that way. Alright, so I'm jumping right in. As long as someone tells me that they can hear me, we're good. I have to take advantage of this time and I might even get cut short, so that's why I want to go right in. So a few seconds for everyone to come on. It's been so long. I miss doing my lives. I miss doing this. I forgot how much I miss doing this. I stopped, unfortunately, because I was dealing with handling some stuff with my mom a while back, and my attention had to go towards that and go towards where I was needed. So thank you, Susan. Look what I'm wearing. Susan, you guys, she makes these beautiful crystals, and she sent me this as a gift with some of the stuff that I ordered from her. So Susan Marie there, if you want your crystals, you should definitely check out her page, and she has some great stuff on there. So I'm jumping right in, right? Because I put this post up earlier about how, like, it was like a funny meme or whatever, you can go and check it out, and how I'm just pretty much like in a bubble, you know. I'm not letting like anything that's going on in the world really like get to me, and it's been like that since everything started going on. And I don't really want to like get into what's going on because we all know what's going on, the multiple things that are happening, right? So there's no reason to talk about those things. This video is going to be really 3 top things that I do on a consistent basis every single day to stay sane, right? When it feels like the rest of the world has gone mad and like we're living in some sort of twilight zone where everything is just like, is there one more thing that can happen? Like, where are we? Like, what is going on? And so I have managed to stay like really, really aligned during this time, and I had to because I was pregnant during the pandemic. I gave birth 3 weeks ago in a hospital after wanting to do a home birth and attempting a home birth for 2 days, being in labor for 48 hours and then being told I had to go to the hospital when that was like the last thing that, of course, I wanted anyway, but like especially during this, it was the last thing. So I really, when all of this really started to happen, because I was carrying a life inside of me that I was really working to send positive vibes to and to stay relaxed and to stay at ease, I really had to work, I feel like, twice as hard to stay in alignment and to stay well and to stay in a good mind frame, because I now was going to be passing, you know, my feelings and my emotions to my unborn child. So I really did really work on doing that. So I'm sharing that with you, the things that I've done. So in that post that I put that like ignorance is bliss, essentially, and I really don't care what anybody says, because there's spectrums. There's people that are like, hell yeah, like I totally get you, like I want to be in a bubble too, and I'm in a bubble too, and I don't care what's going on, and not don't care what's going on, but I limit the amount of exposure I have to it. And then there's other people, usually older people, and my patients were like that when all of this started, when I kind of expressed, you know, that I was like, you know, whatever happens, happens, that are like, you have to know what's going on. Like, you have, it's ignorant not to, you know, be informed. It's ignorant not to watch the news. Like, you have to know what's going on. And sort of trying to make me feel bad or make me feel guilty or make me feel negative about the fact that I was sort of staying away from this, right? And staying away from the knowledge of everything going on. And the thing with that is like, I'm 37 years old. I really don't care what anybody thinks about how I feel about things. As long as I feel good and I'm in a good space, I'm really not concerned after 37 years about anybody else's opinion unless they are paying my bills or sleeping in my bed with me. So I take it in with a grain of salt and I say, okay, yeah, I probably should know, and I agree to disagree and move on, right? I never want to do that. That whole argument thing of like why I don't do it. I don't do it, and that's it. So first thing, I don't watch the news. I never, ever, ever watch the news. In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I watched here and there, again, just to kind of like be like, what the F is going on? Because I would go to work and everybody was talking about it, and I was just kind of like, maybe I should kind of just know a little bit of it. And like, I just got anxiety. Like just listening to it, I knew where it was going, right? Initially, I was like, this is going to go away like everything else does. It's just something to distract us. It's all that stuff that I won't get into. But then I started seeing like, no, this is really going to be something. Like, I need to disconnect. So I stopped watching the news. I, in general, am not a big scroller on Facebook or Instagram. I know that I do post. I have these spurts where, like, I post a lot. And even though I'm doing that, I'm not really scrolling, because when I'm scrolling, it's just, it's madness, right? And you guys know this. Like, it's just madness on social media. Not so much Instagram, because I go on hashtag. I'm talking really fast, like I said, because I don't want my daughter and my husband to wake up. Because if they do, like, it's over. Like, I'm breastfeeding and only breastfeeding on demand. Like, this conversation's over as soon as that happens. So I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible. So no news, no social media, no scrolling. There was a point where I took like a 30 day like total, like got off of Facebook completely, got off of Instagram completely, and there's just so much peace that comes with that. So I wasn't doing any of that. I still don't do any of that. Every now and again I will scroll. But if I see that there's like triggers in there and I'm starting to get anxiety and I'm starting to see a lot of things that are making me feel uneasy, I get off. You know, I have a timer on my phone that tells me when it's been 30 minutes, when I've been on Instagram, when I've been on Facebook. And so unless I'm doing like coach or work related stuff, like I'm not really on social media, right? So with the news, same idea. You know, if I'm somewhere where it's on, like headphones go on, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to know it. And again, ignorance is bliss, and most of that is bullshit anyway. So like, I don't want to hear it, right? I don't want to see it. The second thing is I surround myself with like-minded people that feel the same way about this situation, right? They might have a little bit of more in-depth feelings about it or whatever, but they're uplifting, right? They're positive. Like when I'm around them, and yes, I've been around them, or we're FaceTiming or whatever it is, I feel better when I leave from them, right? If there is a conversation about everything that's going on, it's how we can be better, how we can do better, how we can act better, how we can facilitate feeling better, right? There was a point in the very beginning where I was getting on with 4 of my very close friends and us girls, and like we were looking for the gratitude and the positiveness of everything going on. So we would get on our call, and like it wouldn't even be to catch up. It would literally be like, all right, like how is this pandemic like beneficial to us right now? Like what are we feeling good about? And we would talk about our struggles, but like we would also really lean more towards how is this actually working for us? Like what is this doing for us in a positive way? And so, family, friends, conversations that I'm having, with anybody that's around my life, like it's got to be an uplifting, positive group of people, right? And that's important, like when there's not a pandemic. Like it's important always that you surround yourself with people that you feel good around, that don't stress you out, that don't give you anxiety, that aren't going to continue to instill fear. And like if there is someone that has that excessive fear, like it's my innate nature to just be like, well, let's look for the positive of it, and like how can we make you feel better about this, and like sort of lead more away from, instead of problem, to be more solution oriented. Stop. Chewy licking herself as usual. So surrounding yourself with people that are going to not make you feel fearful, not make you, and that's sort of where everybody is, right? You'll see people and you're like, do we hug? Do we not hug? Like, do we? And like, I've vibrated in a vicinity where like people around me are like, screw that shit, like give me a hug, right? And I love that, because that's sort of how I feel about it, right? And again, can call me ignorant, can call me selfish, can call me all of those things. Again, 37, don't really give a crap what anybody says or thinks, as long as I feel good. And that should be sort of something you take with you too, right? Is not really caring so much what other people think about how you think or act or feel or whatever actions that you take, right? So surrounding yourself with good people and cutting yourself off and from too much media. I'm not saying, don't watch the news at all. I don't. But, if you feel like you have to be informed, be informed. But again, if you're feeling like when you're doing that, you're uneasy, you're getting into a state of fear, your vibration is lowering, And if you followed me in the past, you know about vibration, you know I follow law of attraction, you know that I'm all about energy and all that good stuff. I know, again, it's been like forever since I've been on live, but again, had to tend to other things that I was doing. So yeah, so you're in this space where you're surrounded by good people, you're not really listening to things. And third of all, and the most beneficial, and I shared this in posts previously, is being focused on gratitude, right? Being focused on what's working in your life right now, because there's so much not working on the outside. There's so much that's going wrong. There's so much that you know, we're looking at, and we're like, oh, you know, the world's going to shit, and like, what's going to happen next week, and what's going to, you know, there's so much of this going on that it can get really hard to sort of like reflect and go within and sort of look at, you know, what's right. It gets harder to look at what's right when there's so much going wrong, right? But if you look at your own life, and I always tell my husband this, I'm like, you know, I'm concerned about these 4 walls right here. Like, what is right in this vicinity, right? In our family life, now that we have a 3-week-old, now that we, you know, are coming into a very big transition in our lives where I'm really going to be home full time, and like, I'm a mom now, and I'm taking care of it, and I'm working on a business, and I'm doing all this stuff. Like, I'm really only concerned about this, right? What's going right in this? How can I make sure my marriage is good? How can I make sure I'm a good mother? How can I make sure I have self-care so that I feel good and I go out into the world and I'm doing better, and I'm facilitating an environment around me that feels good? Right? So looking at all of the things that are working for me, all of the things that are right in my life, all of the things that feel good despite what's going on the outside. And so that's gratitude lists in the morning, that's journaling, that's all day looking for the good, looking for what's working, looking for what's right, looking for, you know, pockets of wealth, right? Abraham Hicks will call them like these little pockets of wealth where you're looking at things and you're like, wow, this is so great, and this is so great, and this is so great. And so the more great that you're looking for, the more great that you're going to get. So that's what I've been doing. You know, I've really just been in this place of gratitude, and this is working for me, and that's working for me, and this is working for me. And because I'm in that mindset, I'm not so much worried about what's going on the outside, right? And so it puts me in a place where maybe somebody, and people have said like, well, you know, what are you going to do when it affects you, or this, that? And it is affecting me. Like there's laws that have been passed in New York that I'm going to have to face in a few years, like living as a holistic person. I won't get into it, but there are things that have been passed that are going to be decisions that I'm going to have to make revolving around my daughter, and revolving around school, and revolving around certain things. And I'm not going to worry about that because I have 5 years to worry about that. And so I have 5 years to change that. And that's what I'm doing, right? I look at like, what can I change? If it is something that is affecting me and I can do something about it right now, I do it, or I begin the process of doing something that will make it better. If it's something that I can't do anything about, I let it go. And I know that's hard for a lot of people. And like when I talk to clients, when I talk to friends, when I talk to family, it's like, how, Chris? Like, how do you do that? How do you just be like, I can't do anything about it? Like, let it go. Like, it's definitely taken work and it's taken time, but you let it go. Somehow you're just like, I'd rather find peace in my days than be worried about things that I can't control. Like, I just make that choice, right? This is a choice that I consistently and consciously make every single day, is like, I can live in joy, and I can live in peace, and I can live in happiness, or I can live in fear and anxiety and uncertainty. And like, I get to choose, right, which one I live in. And like, we think like the outside sort, but this is happening and that's happening, and how can I do that with this happening? And it's like, you're giving your power away, guys. Like, if you're living in this state where you're saying, oh, but how can I do this if this is happening, then you've completely lost your power, right? Because you are control of how you feel about things. You are controlled about what you think about things, how you feel about things, how you respond to things. You are in control. And if you give up your power, and if you say, well, this is happening, so I can't feel this way, then there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Because what the hell, right? You're going to go your entire life letting your emotions and letting how you feel be determined by what's going on outside and things that you can't change. The only thing that you have power over is how you feel, how you think, and how you act. So take control of that, right? Decide every day that, like, I'm going to choose where I put my focus. I'm going to choose what I'm thinking. I'm going to choose what I'm feeling, because you do have the choice, right? You are the observer. You are not your thoughts. So that's where I'm at, you know, every day is like, okay, can I do something about this? Yes, I do it. Can I do something about this? No. Next. Like, what can I work on? What can I do? to make this better, right? To make myself feel better, right? Being like the doorman, right? I think I was watching a video the other day, and that's another thing, guys. Like, watch other things. Like, YouTube is school, right? Like, and I'm making this YouTube channel. I'm so super excited about it. High Vibe Mama. We're going to talk about lots of things. I'm going to be doing more stuff on there than I am on live on here. I'll probably come on here and do live stuff because I really do like it on here. But I'm also going to be on there. But I learn so much, right? If there's a topic that I want to learn about, like, I put it in there. It's usually health. It's usually mindset. It's usually spirituality. It's usually personal development. And I'm watching that, right? So I'm really like the doorman of my head and my mind and my thoughts, and saying, like, am I going to let this stuff in? Am I going to allow things to disrupt how I'm feeling about things? Am I going to allow people, places, person, things, events, circumstance, whatever, to affect me in such a way that, like, I'm living in fear, or I'm depressed, or I'm sad, or I have anxiety? Like, absolutely not. Are there other things that are factors? Is your diet a factor? Absolutely. Is your level of activity and exercise a factor? Absolutely. But, like, at the end of the day, you have a choice about what you think and what you feel, right? So with these things, you really have to be living in a state of gratitude, surrounding yourself with good people, and avoiding the noise, right? There's just so much noise out there, you know, and we've gotten away from, like, unity. I think there's unity amongst, like, division. How do you say that? You know, it's like, I feel this way and I feel this way, and, like, a bunch of people feel this way and they're standing together, and then a bunch of people feel this way and they're standing together, and then they just attack each other. And it's like, we're never going to get anywhere with that, right? That's a whole nother topic, but it's not going to happen, right? But if we're consciously, every single person, right, we live as a consciousness, and the consciousness of the world is being determined, and what's happening in the world is being determined by what we're thinking, feeling, and doing. Again, talking really fast because my 3-week-old is sleeping, and I really want to get this done before she gets up. I'm going to read all your comments when I'm done. Yes, so all of these thoughts that we're having, they are going out into the world, right? So if we're changing those things, if we're really conscious about what we're thinking, what we're feeling, we're not allowing the news and all of this other stuff to get to us, then we start to shift, you know, we start to shift the world. Right, so that's my 3 tips, right? Living in gratitude, you know, taking control of the things that we can take control of, and letting go of the things that we can't. Limiting our exposure to information that makes us feel uneasy, or in fear, or anxiety, right? There's being informed and being okay with being informed and going about our lives and not feeling those things, and then there's being informed and feeling anxiety with those things. So I'm not saying don't be informed. I'm saying if the information is making you feel uneasy, then stop. Right, this is a big difference. And surrounding yourself with like-minded people that feel the same way and think the same, not exactly the same way, I think the same way, but that you feel good when you leave. Right, so I'm just going to go through your comments really quickly. I saw a bunch of stuff here. Oh, it's mostly just who's watching. Hello, beauty. Hi, Fania. Hi, excellent point. Find the positive in any good or bad situation. Yeah, I'm big, thanks Juan, I'm big on looking for the light, right? I'm that really annoying person who's like, but it's really good because da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm not always like that, but 99% of the time I'm going to look for the light. And I just went through, again, going from a home birth to a hospital to a C-section 3 weeks ago, where I was like, what the freak? Like, this is completely opposite of what I wanted. Like, everything is going wrong. And I really had to look for the light, but I'll be sharing my birth story in due time on my YouTube channel. So much division right now, yes. So yeah, so that's where we're at. And with the division, again, you know, it's like, I'm right, you're right, I'm wrong, you're wrong. Like, what the hell? Like, can't everybody just be happy and just live in their own bubble? And, like, if we're all happy in our own bubbles, we'll all come together and we'll all be, like, a really big happy bubble. So, so that's it. So unless you guys have any questions, or you guys have anything to input to this, I am going to go and actually try to walk the dog before my daughter and hubby wake up. It's so weird to say my daughter, and I'm a mom, and ugh. What a transition it's been. It's been really, really crazy. So that's it. I'm going to go. All right. Love you guys. Share away if you feel like this added value, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.